right, let me see this real quick. I just gotta make sure. All right, there we go. All right, good to have you with us today. Hey, happy Friday. It is Friday. Woot, woot. Glory. Hey, welcome to the program today. We got a big show today. There's lots of stuff to cover, but we also have Amy Fitzgerald from the crew of the Airship Pirates. She's going to be joining us here shortly on the phone and talking about the parade and other stuff, and looking forward to a great day today. Right? Welcome to the program. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Milton Post, for hosting. Share the video. They want to stop us. Hold on. All right. Do you not have sound? Anyone? There's that. Can you hear me? It's always a issue. What is your YouTube channel name? The YouTube channel is Sunrise Santa Rosa with Nick Stewart - the Milton Post. So check it out there. All right. Good to have you with us today. Can anybody hear me? My wife said she couldn't hear me. Okay. All right. Your weather forecast today. I know. Good said. Okay, good. Thank you. Your forecast today. Plentiful sunshine, high near 61. Tonight, few passing clouds, low near 40. And tomorrow for your Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy and a high near 67. Presently, it's 35 in Milton, 42 Gulf Breeze, 36 Navarre, and 36 Pensacola. All right. You ready? Let's light this candle. Goodness. There's always something weird going on. I'll get to that in a minute. I don't get too far ahead of myself. Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office is pleased to announce that they have a nationwide Offender Watch sex offender registry network, which enables seamless collaboration on investigations and sharing of critical information involving registered sex offenders with more than 4,000 other law enforcement agencies across the country. In addition, residents of Santa Rosa County can use the sheriff's website to search for sex offenders residing in their neighborhood. Now, there is quite a large number in Santa Rosa County. You can even subscribe to receive email alerts. You can download the free Offender Watch app directly from the Google Play or Apple app stores. The app is currently available on iPhone and Android devices. The website is offenderwatch.com. That is probably her greatest dream, is to not hear me. She would love for me to get laryngitis. On YouTube, the soundtrack doesn't match the video. It's lagging behind. I don't know. Reboot it. You just got to do a refresh. Sorry. It's a mystery how the YouTube thing works, but it's there. It's there. All right. A Santa Rosa teacher is back to work after being put on administrative leave. Let me find her picture. Here she is. Mrs. Dillashaw. She was put on administrative leave because of a racially insensitive Facebook post. It was deemed to be racially offensive. Lisa Dillashaw, science teacher at Pace High School, is currently teaching virtual school for the Santa Rosa County School District. Dillashaw announced on her Facebook page she'll return to the Pace High School next semester. Now, it happened in June after the Facebook post sparked controversy. This is right after the Black Lives Matter thing started. And she said black people have just as much voice as white people. And she said they get some special privileges because of being a minority. And that was deemed racially insensitive. And it was a big to-do. But Dillashaw wrote that she'd been called a derogatory name, didn't whine about it. And she was placed on leave while ethics investigations were going on. Now, she said, it was her own personal Facebook page. Now, you either in the public school system believe in free speech or you don't. Now, they said that it violated her the school ethics. It violated ethics policies. Reports say the post had the effect of creating an intimidating academic environment and did not protect students from conditions harmful to their mental health. Now, yes, Justin. Yeah, they're just as smart as white kids. So who did she hurt? So she posted on her own Facebook page. Now, I don't know how many students she has as friends on her Facebook page. But does that create, I mean, if you want to voice your opinion, I don't care if you agree or don't agree. And I want to say this again. I said this the other day. Just because we disagree, and I don't necessarily disagree with Ms. Dillashaw. I disagree that she shouldn't have been, I don't think she should have been taken off her job. But here is leftist ethics exactly, Corey. Truth is insensitive. Of course it is, John. But just and if you post something on your Facebook page, I don't care. I may ask you a question, but you have you have every right to put it there. I don't have to unfriend you. I don't have to hate you because we disagree. We just disagree. If you don't have your friends only, it should remain friends only, not public. Maybe. But here's the bigger issue. Why can't you let just people have their opinions? Now, again, you can ask a question. I want clarification. I asked for clarification the other day. Didn't get it. But people think, well, we can't be friends. That's stupid. That's immature. If you don't think you can disagree and still be friends, you are immature. Grow up. And I'm glad Miss Dillashaw is back to work. Good for her. I think they had her working in the transportation department for a while or whatever. She's on administrative leave. She couldn't be a teacher. But now she's back doing virtual, and she'll be back in the classroom. Good for her. I'm glad. This stuff is dumb. If you have a friend that's going on to screenshot what you write and say and post, well, yeah. Yeah. They don't need to be, they're tattlers. Grow up. They're not friends. If you can't prove her statement factually wrong, then loss of job was slanderous. I agree. Or prove that it violated and put people in danger. That's what they said. It violated the ethics and put people in danger. You have to prove that. Just saying. Santa Rosa County is now the first county in Northwest Florida to get a COVID-19 vaccination hotline. So they're going from the registering on the website back to phones. Good. Last week, the state launched a system to make the process of scheduling and getting the shot run smoother. If you're 65 years or older, a healthcare worker, first responder, you can now call the state hotline to sign up to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. You must live in Santa Rosa County. The number is 866-201-7110. Police say, sheriff office says, where is this wackadoo? Oh, he was a PNG. He won't come up. Oh, no, there he is. Here he is. Here is the wingding. This guy, sheriff said John Wright of Pensacola had more than a dozen videos of children between the ages of 2 and 12 being sexually battered or engaged in sexual acts or poses on his phone. According to the report, deputies received a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that a computer or other electronic device distributed a child pornography video through a commonly social media platform on October 29th. Investigators were able to determine Wright as the suspect based on an IP address, a social media account, name, birthday, and 2 email addresses included in the tip. They They know where you're at. Investigation revealed 23-year-olds currently under investigation by the Escambia County Sheriff's Office Special Victims Unit for molesting a 12-year-old relative. They obtained Wright's phone during a search of his home on January 27th. 17 child porn videos on it. Get rid of him. He is 23. He is, yep. He's 23 years old. Get rid of him. There's another guy. This will disturb you as well, because this is how weird it is. Baldwin County Sheriff's Office says a man is facing 4 counts of possession of obscene matter. According to a news release, deputies arrested Anthony Fillingham Jr., the execution of a search warrant at his home in Daphne. He's a band director. He downloaded sexually explicit images of someone under the age of 17. Yeah, he is sick. Yeah, these guys need to be gone. Gone. I know. Well, we'll see. I don't wish that on anybody, but it's going to be uncomfortable for him. All right, so this is going on. A string of shootings in Montclair is leading the NAACP to demand action. Members of the Pensacola chapter say they want a sheriff's precinct opened in their neighborhood. Having a substation where law enforcement is close by. I think the neighbors will be able to sleep better at night, said Pensacola NAACP President Vin Durant. I think it will cut down on crime in this community. Now, Chip Simmons says it's a possibility. Now, I want to ask a question, because I think this is vitally important. What was the feeling on the police during the Black Lives Matter protests and the defund the police nonsense? Then it wasn't, it was, oh, the police are disparaging our people. But now they want them. Well, make up your mind. Make up your mind. You want them when it's convenient for you, but when it's not convenient for you, you don't want them. Just tell me straight up. You do or you don't? Can we get a consensus on this? I agree. You need to have police in your neighborhood. But stop with the Black Lives Matter stuff and defund the police and the police are bad, because that's not the case. And clearly not the case, because you want them there. Make up my mind. Do you see the ridiculousness of this? The two-sided, they can't make up their mind. And if you want the police there, you get the police there. But then don't whine when you want it some way different politically. Make sense? I know. Shoot an armed black person with a knife, a gun, whatever. You don't like that. Only good when it's their idea, or until it's not in their favor. And that's the truth. Now, I believe this statement that he made, he's right. He's right. Having a substation where law enforcement is close by, I think the neighbors will be able to sleep better at night. True statement. It's Vin Durant from the NAACP president. I think it will cut down on crime in this community. Absolutely. Yes. Sign a waiver. Sign a waiver that if there is a conflict, you will side with the police. Done with the stupidity. 850-771-0049. It follows a last week's shootings involving 4 teenagers. We're going to have to teach these kids that law enforcement is not the enemy, Durant said. Yes, that's true. Does that sound weird? Is he going to be booted out of the NAACP for saying that? That we're going to have to teach our kids that the police are not the enemy. That is completely contrary to what has been being pushed around in communities. Police are the enemy, remember? And black cops are the enemies. They're traitors. Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know. 2 California women claim Subway's tuna sandwich actually contains no tuna. They say it contains no tuna, not even a scintilla. And that they were duped by the fast food joint's claims. It's a $5 million lawsuit. Karen Danawa and Namila Amin, both of Alameda, California, say they ordered tuna from the sandwich giant at locations near their home as recently as last year. But independent testing has repeatedly affirmed the products are made from anything but tuna. The filling of the products has no scintilla of tuna at all. In fact, Subway's tuna is made from a mixture of various concoctions that don't constitute tuna. Yet they've been blended together by defendants to imitate the appearance of tuna. Subway's done this in an effort to save money since the blended non-tuna product costs less. There's simply no truth to the allegations in the complaint that was filed in California. That's a spokesperson for Subway. Subway delivers 100% cooked tuna in its restaurants, which is mixed with mayonnaise and used with freshly made sandwiches, wraps, salads. Spokesperson said that the quality and taste of their tuna makes one of their most popular products. So, I don't know. Who would eat fast food tuna salad anyway? Who would eat tuna? I don't eat tuna. McDonald's is in trouble. Do they serve tuna, Corey? They don't serve meat. The bread is what? It's not bread. Yeah, we went through that years ago. But look, John, if you go to the store and buy bread, there's plaster of Paris in it. Yeah, it's true. You're filling your gut with crazy stuff. I don't eat Subway. Well, it's a long story. They didn't do anything wrong. I just don't eat it. Austin City Council is purchasing at least one new hotel to house homeless people. They're buying hotels to house the homeless people. They are using $6.5 million slashed from the police budget to do it. The city council voted in favor of the $6.7 million acquisition of Texas Bungalows Hotel and Suites in North Austin on Wednesday, but postponed a similar vote to purchase the Candlewood Suites in Northwest Austin for $9.5 million until council members have a chance to speak to business owner and community members about the project. They're trying to buy Candlewood Suites for homeless people. If both hotels are purchased, it would boost the total number of hotels designated to house homeless people to 7 throughout the city. It would cost $3.8 million annually to run both hotels. What's it going to cost to run all the hotels? We'll be using funds diverted from our police budget to run the hotel and provide services like job aid, mental health care, and more. It's an effort to make budget cuts to policing and reallocate dollars to housing services. None of this would be possible without your continued advocacy and support. We won the largest affordable housing election in Austin's history, which helps us buy these hotels. We passed a transformative budget that reimagined justice and safety, which allows us to run the hotels. It is a terrible idea, Justin. government-run hotels for homeless people. Now, having worked with homeless, some of them, many of them, want to be homeless. They're chronically homeless. It's just a fact. I think it'd be a good idea. We have empty houses and homeless. That'd be a good match. I hope that is sarcasm, Sharon. Neighbors in the area won't be happy. It doesn't seem like a great idea. Have homeless get a job too. Well, you can't do that. You can't require that. Socialism hotel. Yes. Everybody gets a room. 850-771-0049. All right, waiting for Amy Fitzgerald to call in. She is with the crew of the Airship Pirates. Amy, if you are watching, you need to dial the 850 to call in. 850-771-0049. On Wednesday, Kraft announced the contest to give out free kits of its latest limited time mac and cheese. Do you like the mac and cheese? You're not going to like this. It's pink. It's pink mac and cheese. But wait, there's more. It's candy flavored. So what makes the powder pink? It's crushed up conversation hearts. It's a special dust from Cupid's arrow. Actually, according to Kraft, the vibrant pink hue comes from beetroot and carrot concentrates. And then what makes it taste like candy is the packet of powder contains fructose, natural flavors, and vanilla extract. Blech. To win a free box of the Neon Noodles, head to candycraftmacandcheese.com starting at 8 a.m. on through February 8th. 1,000 winners will be selected to receive the Magenta Mac in time for February 14th. Gross. It does look like a bowl of barf. Remember the stuff you used to sprinkle on it at school? Oh, I know. It's so very wrong. Lauren said she'd buy it just for the kids. Unicorn noodles. I don't know. It is gross, and it does look like worms. Sign you up. Well, go to the website, Justin. Go to the website. Sign up for it. Get your. It wouldn't be bad just to have it and just to keep it. It's probably. I don't think it ever has a shelf life. It just stays. It's all powder, but that does look disgusting. 850-771-0049. I don't think so. Lowe's Home Improvement is going to hire more than 50,000 workers this spring. The company said it'll also pay out an additional $80 million in discretionary bonuses to existing workers, bringing the company's total commitment to associates, communities, and store safety during the pandemic to nearly $1.3 billion. The hourly workers will get their bonuses, the seventh paid out by the company during the pandemic. First week of February, full-timers will get $300, part-timers will get $150. Need a job? Go to Lowe's. Should have called the mac and cheese the meth edition. I'm not going to ever eat it. I don't think bugs will fly. You can put it in a bag, seal it. Homemade mac and cheese is the best. I put bacon and jalapenos in mine. Just do. 850-771-0049. Some peaceful protests have formed outside of Robinhood headquarters in Molino Park, California. The Securities and Exchange Commission headquarters in Washington, D.C., and the New York Stock Exchange Thursday, following a call made in, now deleted post on speculative investing subreddit forum Wall Street Bets. I will personally protest in Washington, the user wrote. These are peaceful protests. Bring your banners and good manners. Wear masks and keep distance. No violence or looting or vandalism. And this is in response to the investing platform's decision to restrict stock trades of GameStop, AMC Entertainment Holdings, American Airlines, Bed Bath & Beyond, BlackBerry Limited, Express, that kind of thing. So let me play the Let me play the clip of this young woman. I find this interesting. She is a protester outside of Robinhood. Check it out.
Because Wall Street put in the largest short bet that's ever happened in our nation's history, and they lost the bet. The people kept putting money into this short, and in one day, Wall Street has to pay that back. And because of this short, Wall Street lost $14 billion. And they don't want to lose $14 billion.
They don't want to lose the $14 billion.
All the trading platforms that all the public people trade on, like average Joe that just wants to pay their bills and, rental, pay for their cars and stuff. So they shut it all down. Well, Wall Street made this huge bet and they lost. And the little people came together on this Reddit forum. We all came together and we're like, you know what, we're going to stop Wall Street. And we were just putting a little bit of our own money, $300 here, $200 there to keep the stock up. And Wall Street's pissed. And they lost a bunch of money. And instead of paying us what the short was, they shut everything down and they're keeping our money.
So instead of paying out what they're supposed to pay out, they are keeping the money. Nice. How nice is that? That's Robinhood just destroyed themselves. They just destroyed themselves by shutting it down. And they're not paying out. These people earned this money. This is how Wall Street works. And these people earn their money, and now they're being shut down and shut out. And they're protesting. And they should. And they should. You can only win Wall Street if you're in the elite. Well, they only want you to do that. It does sound like Republican Party protesters, not rioters. Oh, my gosh. All right. What else is going on? City officials in Bellingham, Washington, ordered the removal of a homeless encampment ahead of schedule after reports of possible violence by outside agitators from Portland and other cities. Bellingham's located about 90 miles north of Seattle with a population of about 89,000 people. They removed the encampment from City Hall and the library on Thursday. They were assisted by law enforcement officials, including some members of the U.S. Border Patrol. Why do you need Border Patrol right there? Officials say that public workers were being harassed and that the growing encampment was engulfing the city buildings. Encampment had grown over several months, but officials had set a deadline for Friday when they would forcibly tear down the camp. Now, I want you to see this. I want you to see this. This is how we have to process this. They are bullying homeless people who are probably not violent. Maybe they're a little odd. Maybe the couple of them are a little dangerous because of mental issues. However, they won't do the same thing against the rioters, the agitators, the Antifa people. That's why they're there. They've been pushed down there because of Antifa. And they'll push those out, but they won't stop the protesters from coming. Figure that out. Figure that out. All right. Listen to me, all you people who are thinking about the vaccine. An X-ray technologist from Orange, California, fell ill and was taken to an emergency room just a few hours after receiving his second dose of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine earlier this month. Tim Zook, 60, seemed quite hopeful in a January 5th Facebook post. Never been so excited to get a shot before, Zook wrote above a photo of a Band-Aid on his arm and his COVID vaccine card. I am now fully vaccinated after receiving my second Pfizer dose. Just a few hours later, Zook, he's a technologist at South Coast Global Medical Center in Santa Ana, had an upset stomach and trouble breathing. By 3:30 p.m., his condition worsened so much that his coworkers walked him to the emergency room. Now, there were suspicions of COVID, diagnosis of congestive heart failure. He was put on oxygen, and 4 hours later, a BiPAP machine to help push air into his lungs. Multiple tests came back negative for COVID. Shortly after midnight on January 7th, the hospital called. Zook was in a medically induced coma and on a ventilator to help him breathe. But his blood pressure soon dropped. He was transferred to UC Irvine Medical Center. On Friday, I get a call. His kidneys are failing. He needs to be on dialysis. If not, he could die. But there's also a chance he might have a heart attack or a stroke on dialysis because his blood pressure is so low, Rochelle Zook said. By 4 a.m. on Saturday, January 9th, he had gone code blue twice. He died later that day. Just a few hours after receiving the second dose, he goes in the hospital. He dies. 2 days later, he's dead. Yay, vaccine. Some American colleges are threatening students with severe sanctions if they disobey rules concerning COVID-19, including lockouts from campus, Wi-Fi and school services, and even dismissal. University of Illinois students who disobey the school's recent soft lockdown are subject to loss of internet access and even dismissal. Please note that semester students who are out of compliance may also lose access to university Wi-Fi, Zoom, Compass, and other technologies. And it was boldened and underlined. Now, let me say this. That, my friends, is social credit. They are not, hey, listen, you have to stay off campus. You can't come on campus. Instead of saying that, you have to do from home, whatever. They're cutting off their Wi-Fi services. You can't do Zoom. You can't do. If you don't social distance, wear a mask, do what we say, you will be put on the social credit. And you will be socialed. You'll be shut off from society. Does that bother anybody? I know, Sharon. Oh my goodness. A Chicago public school teacher says that in-person schooling amid the COVID-19 pandemic permits nice white parents to kill black families. In an essay published Monday in the Education Post, Chicago public school teacher Mike Friedberg said that the city is catering to white parents' demands and reopening schools amid the coronavirus pandemic. The essay titled, "Are We Going to Let Nice White Parents Kill Black and Brown Families?" It explained how Friedberg feels that white people are comfortable sacrificing the lives of black and brown families in order to force a return to a normal way of life. A new COVID-19 strain is more contagious than ever, he wrote. The Trump administration's sheer neglect in the face of this deadly pandemic is enraging. Federal inaction has cost lives, and we are far from getting back to a daily normal life. Schools are no exception to this situation. Given the plans to offer vaccines to teachers over the next several weeks, it does not make sense now to force children and staff back into the building. Friedberg added students and parents and teachers are fearing for their lives and pointing out that the city is catering to white minority of parents who demand school reopening. As the reopening debate gets hotter, he explained, we are seeing a new breed of nice white parents emerge. The parents who wish to open school buildings are disproportionately white in meeting after meeting. I've witnessed black and Latino parents voice their concerns. Nice white parents who want to kill black and brown families. Next week, the Ames, Iowa public school system is sponsoring a Black Lives Matter week of action that includes teaching transgenderism to children as young as 4 years old. I got a question. What does Black Lives Matter have to do with transgenderism or vice versa? Anybody? Somebody help me. On the school district's webpage about this week of action, it has Black Lives Matter at school guiding principles. And here's what's included. Queer affirming. We are committed to fostering a queer affirming network when we gather. We do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking. Wow. Rather than the belief that all the world are heterosexual unless he or she disclose otherwise. Trans affirming. We're committed to embracing and making space for trans siblings to participate and lead. We are committed to being self-reflexive and doing work required to dismantle cisgender privilege. Oh my. Oh my. Black villages. We're committed to disrupting the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages and collectively care for one another, and especially our children to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. Besides teaching anti-family and abundant about teaching about sexual information to children as young as 4, it's overtly racist. Here are some examples. The school district's recommendation lessons for middle and high school students during this week included Justice for Trayvon Martin Toolkit. Here's what goes on in the discussion. Discuss George Zimmerman and his internalized racism, how even though he's Latino, why he's labeled as white. George Zimmerman is ethnically Latino. However, he has the same racial privilege as a white person living in a gated community. He has a light skin color. He holds no Spanish name, so he's so whitewashed and consumed by white supremacy. That is why he is white. A Latino man is judged by the color of his skin and then dehumanized in racial terms because of where he lives. This is public dollars paying for this. The campaign directly targets a prison industrial complex that supports draconian drug policies, immigrant detention, and the school to prison pipeline. It encourages students to organize in their schools and communities with activities such as hosting a school assembly about police violence, starting a student organization dedicated to discussing and working on issues around police violence and racial profiling. That's being taught in the schools in Ames, Iowa. You talk about middle America, that's middle America. Sounds like a cult. It is a cult. It is a cult. It aligns with their anti-family. Yep. Wow. This is what we're being hit with, people. This is it. Okay. Joe Biden on Thursday rescinded a regulation that barred U.S. foreign aid from being used to perform and promote abortions. It was expected. It was cheered by abortion choice advocates and some humanitarian groups and denounced by anti-abortion groups. It included restoration of American funding to the UN Population Fund and withdrawals U.S. from an international court that promotes anti-abortion policies. The policy known as the Mexico City Rule, after place was first announced at an international population conference, or the Global Gag Rule, it's been a political ping-pong ball, bouncing back and forth between Republican and Democrat presidents since it was first enacted in 1985. These excessive conditions on foreign and development assistance undermine the United States' efforts to advance gender equality globally by restricting our ability to support women's health and programs that prevent and respond to gender-based violence. Abortion is not health. Because, Justin, it fits their agenda and allows them to insert the homosexual agenda and the transgender agenda. It do. This is interesting. This happened just a little bit yesterday, I think. Rep. Elise Stefanik is demanding that the New York Attorney General Letitia James and the U.S. Justice Department subpoena Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration for documentation and communications regarding his handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Stefanik's remarks come after a report by James was released on Thursday that revealed the state's COVID-19 death count in nursing home facilities was underreported, get this, by as much as 50%. They underreported the deaths in the nursing homes in New York by as much as 50%. They believe the death count in the nursing homes was over 12,000 people. Remember, this piece of trash, this Emmy Award winner, or Oscar, whatever it is he got, was forcing COVID patients into nursing homes. And they underreported it by 50%. They believe the number now is over 12,000 people that died because of his carelessness. Whoops. Whoops. Should that be investigated? Absolutely. By the way, his brother on CNN didn't mention it. That was big news for the day. And he did not even touch it. Yeah, it is. It is perfect. They don't do anything. Oh, no. Never marry. They would never. He would. This guy is the best. Remember, he was on TV every day talking about how good he was. Yeah. This is bad, people. So everywhere else, they're over-reporting the COVID-19 deaths. In New York, in the nursing homes, they under-reported it. Yeah. He killed over 12,000 people on purpose. He shuttled them there and killed them. 850-771-0049. What a garbage. A group of House Republicans are asking Defense Department to brief them on why it's necessary for the National Guard to remain on Capitol Hill and plans to keep them there into March. Oh, let me tell you they'll be there much longer than March. 12 lawmakers wrote to Acting Army Secretary John Whitley for a briefing on reports that the National Guard will keep a presence of at least 5,000 troops into March. Our intention is for the briefing to cover ongoing threats to the Capitol. There are none. The threats to the Capitol are because of the Democrats. The Democrats are the threat to our nation. The parade is this weekend. The parade is tomorrow night at 5 p.m. We were supposed to have Amy Fitzgerald. I don't know what happened to Amy, but she was supposed to be on this morning. Maybe she'll go home. I don't know. But anyway, yes, the parade's this weekend. But why we do not need National Guard at the Capitol. Yeah, I think there's it. Good morning. You're on Sunrise Santa Rosa.
Good morning. This is Amy Fitzgerald. I was calling for Nick.
Hey, Amy. Good morning. You're on the air. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
We are wonderful. Glad you could call in. So tell us a little bit about the parade tomorrow night.
What you want to know? It's going to be a fantastic time. The parade starts at 5 o'clock. We roll. We start at James Street and Stewart Street in Milton. Roll south on Stewart Street, all the way down to Berry Hill. We make a left on Berry Hill and travel to Willing. Go down Willing, cross over 90, and end at the after party at Pine and Elmira Street. So we take Willing all the way down to Pine to Elmira, into Pine and Elmira. So the end of the parade is right there where the after party venue is.
Nice. So tell us about the after party as well.
The after party is going to be rocking. We're trying to encourage COVID social distancing. So we have over, I think it's 3 or 4 or 5 acres or something, or even maybe possibly more than that, We've got the Mogiles band playing live. They're going to start playing as soon as the last parade entry crosses the venue area. Mogiles band is out of Houston, Texas. So they're coming to play for us. They're going to be amazing.
Nice.
We're going to have, let's see, vendors, craft vendors. I think we've got 5 or 6 food trucks. You'll be able to meet most of the crews that are in the parade. Any of the crews that decide to actually stay for the after party will be there. So you get to see their floats and meet the members. The crew of Airship Pirates will be there. You'll get to meet all of them. We've got a full kids zone on the Blackwater side of the venue. It's a huge kids zone. The kids are going to have their parents sign a waiver, and then it's kind of a free come and go area. It'll be all fenced in, and it'll be open until 8 o'clock. It's going to be a really great time. It's a free event. You can bring your chairs, coolers. We do have a VIP area, but all of our VIP tickets are sold out right now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a free event. It's come and go, and it should be a really great time.
Awesome. Now, I don't want to get negative, but you guys caught a lot of flack because of the COVID nonsense. So tell us what kind of things you guys are doing to kind of make sure everybody's safe.
Well, we've got the City of Milton has donated 20,000 masks, and they are going to be distributing those prior to the parade. So anybody that's lined up for the parade early, they're going to be bringing them around and passing them out. And I'm not talking these aren't the cheesy little surgical masks. These are like actually cloth cotton, masks, and they're in packages of 5. So when they toss them out and they hand them to you, you're going to get 5 masks.
Holy smokes, that's nice.
They're passing out 20,000 of those. We will have those masks available at every vendor, every food truck, everywhere across the after party. So masks are free, and we're encouraging the use of masks. We're not telling people that they have to wear them, but we're encouraging them. We've got hand sanitizing and hand washing stations in the after party venue. We've got a huge outdoor area, so we're encouraging social distancing. Stay at least 6 feet apart, individual parties, gatherings no more than 10. We increased the parade route by almost a half a mile from last year. So we had plenty of space last year. We're going to have even more space this year. Let's see, hands, face, space. I think I covered all of them.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you guys, and I appreciate all the stuff you did for Ronald McDonald House and those kinds of things. And I know there was people who are trying to poo-poo what you're doing, but I appreciate you guys so very much.
Well, we appreciate all the support we can get. There's very contradicting feelings about our parade.
Yeah.
But our crew has ultimately the health and wellness of our community at heart. We know that ultimately WHO and CDC says no gatherings of greater than 10 people. We understand that. But what we're trying to encourage and like I said, we can't enforce anything, but we're encouraging people to stay in groups of 10 or less. There's plenty of space, so stay distant from other groups of 10. And you know what? Go out and have a good time and live your life. And just if you've got people at home that are immune compromised, or if you're feeling ill, don't come out. It's a choice.
Right. Well, you should have, and everybody's going to be outside.
Wise choice.
Yeah, and everybody's going to be outside, and it's going to be nice weather tonight, and we tomorrow. So should be pretty good night for a parade, and we hope for a good turnout.
I think it's going to be amazing. Can I give a little shout out for a few of our sponsors?
You sure can.
I want to give a huge shout out to the City of Milton. They were sort of divided on giving us the permit and the funding for it, but the majority of them voted for it. So huge shout out for the City of Milton. Sandy and Bubba's Chevrolet in Milton, and Sandy Sansing. It's like 4 of them. Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, and I'm leaving one out. But Sandy Sansing and Milton. Oops Alley was a huge sponsor. We super appreciate them. Dickie's Barbecue.
Good.
American Realty Southeast. And I know I'm leaving out another major one. Cat Country. Those are our major ones, but
Okay.
I know I'm leaving somebody out, so I apologize if I'm leaving them out.
Well, that's good, and we're so glad that it's going on, and since it's probably the only one in the area, it is the only one in the area. You might have a pretty good crowd for that parade. So
I think we will.
All right.
Yep. And I super appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.
Amy, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you guys. The Mardi Gras parade tomorrow night at 5 p.m. downtown Milton. Check it out. All right. I hope you get to go. Will Nick be at the parade? I haven't decided yet, Willie. I'm not a big parade guy, but I do like the crowd, so I may do that, Willie. Here's your attaboy. Yay. Okay. What else? Let's see. No, I'm going to skip that, but I'm running out of time, so I'm trying to edit myself. Oh, a man who calls himself QAnon shaman. Yeah, we call him Chewbacca Man. He is willing to testify in former President Trump's upcoming impeachment trial. Jacob Anthony Chansley later regretted being duped by former president after he didn't receive a pardon after the attack on the Capitol Hill. Watkins added Chansley also lamented being in a position where he allowed that duping to put him in a position to make decisions he should not have made. That's President Trump's fault, that you're a jackwagon. Mm-hmm. The liar told the Associated Press he has yet to speak to any lawmakers about the offer, and senators have not voted whether to allow witnesses during the trial. So you know what he's doing? He's fishing to get off. He's fishing to, we'll give you a pardon. We'll give you a pardon if you testify. That's what he's willing to testify. And that's what he's wanting. That's what he's fishing for. He is a liar. Look at him. Could you look, here's the thing. If he testifies, he needs to show up just like that. We'll let him testify, but he has to show up looking like that. That's all I got to say about that. Pro-Trump attorney Lynn Wood said Thursday that the State Bar of Georgia has demanded he participate in an examination of his mental health in order to keep his law license. Wood, who's been an outspoken supporter of President Donald Trump, claims that the 2020 election was stolen, has already been hit with social media bans, and the loss of at least one client after a number of social media posts calling for the execution of former Vice President Mike Pence. He has to undergo a mental health exam to keep his license. Adam Schiff of California lashed out at Republicans, called the party a dangerous cult over report that the names of Democrat lawmakers are found on a list possessed by a man caught near the U.S. Capitol with a gun and ammunition. The 71-year-old man was arrested on Wednesday at the Capitol after he shouted at a guardsman and arrested for possessing a pistol without a license. Schiff used the incident to hammer away at Republican leadership. You look at some of these members, including Representative Green, who have threatened on social media prior to election other members of Congress. You have members like her who have suggested that attacks against students, murderous attacks on high school campuses like at Parkland were somehow fake, fraudulent, or false flag operations. And they're being rewarded by House Minority Leader Rep. Kevin McCarthy with assignments on the Education Committee. Continued. You know, the GOP leadership is becoming a little more than a cult, a dangerous cult, said Schiff. That's how he's painting them, as a cult. Pelosi blasted her colleagues, even goes so far as to disparage Republican lawmakers, claiming the enemy is within the House of Representatives. During her weekly news conference, Pelosi addressed several topics, including the impeachment of former President Donald Trump, past remarks by Marjorie Taylor Greene, and the possibility of adding more security at the U.S. Capitol to protect Democrats against GOP Congress members. Who is fanning and flaming the rhetoric? Is it the Republicans or is it morons like Schiff and Pelosi? This is beyond. You talk about dangerous. I want you to understand this. The thing that is dangerous is she is labeling them as extremists in the House of Representatives. Now, what happens when they go out? What happens when they are outside going to a restaurant, at their homes? People show up at their homes. She is putting them in danger. I think it's weird, Mary says. BLM is using the platform for transgender issues. Yeah. People of color don't necessarily do that. I know many third-party members who would vote for Rand Paul. I think Rand Paul is great. I think that Trump and a Rand Paul, a Matt Gaetz, a Rick DeSantis would rock it. They would rock it. Now, Trump still has a 48% approval rating. It's not changed. Yep. She is inciting violence. Very scary, my friends. I got one more piece of video. I got so much stuff today. Can't get to it all. This is, oh my gosh, these people are so crazy. The nominee for the Energy Secretary, Jennifer Granholm, admitted Wednesday during her confirmation hearing that some jobs in the oil and gas industry may be sacrificed as part of the industry's climate agenda. Listen.
Ban on oil gas leasing is going to cost about 62,000 jobs in New Mexico, and we have the senator from New Mexico here, about 33,000 jobs in Wyoming, 18,000 jobs in Colorado. A long-term ban is going to cut revenues to New Mexico and Wyoming by hundreds of millions of dollars, which these states use for K-2 public education, other essential services. I'm just curious how a long-term ban consistent with the president's goal of unifying our country and putting Americans back to work and helping our economies grow, how is that all consistent?
I think the president's plan of building back better, which would create more jobs in energy, clean energy, than the jobs that might be sacrificed. But I will say this, no job, we don't want to see any jobs sacrificed. And that's why this, when you opened up your remarks, sir, your remarks about technology were so important. This is why reducing GHG emissions is so important in the fossil fuel arena. The moratorium on public lands, I know for those states that have these jobs in abundance, this is something we're going to have to work on together to ensure that people remain employed. But I will say that the licenses that currently are operating are not going to be disrupted. They will continue to operate. And the oil and gas industry, in particular, they've got 10,000 licenses that they have and that will not be disrupted, that they can continue to permit and deploy and extract energy from. It is only on future licenses that this moratorium is. So it gives us some time to be able to work on creating jobs and diversifying and providing good paying jobs in every pocket of the country.
Yeah, but some jobs will have to be sacrificed. Mercy, people. One last little piece of thing that this ding dong and her crew are calling for a regular stimulus for Americans and illegals during the pandemic. They want to get you on the guaranteed income. I'm telling you, people, we are living in weird, wild times. We are running over. We got to get out of here. Well, there's so much stuff. Hey, listen, have a great weekend. God bless you. We hope to see you on Monday. Stay strong. Share the video. Have a great weekend. See you at the parade.